Ladies and gentlemen, you know one of my favorite things to do is go over Nintendo leaks and Switch 2 leaks, and we do that pretty much weekly. Today, we're going over some of the biggest Nintendo and Switch 2 leaks of all time, at least in my opinion, but we have updates, rumors, and leaks, and I'm talking about some insane damn leaks. Let's go and get right into this video. So when I talk, I wave my hands around like this, and I'm not really sure why I do it, but you know, I do it in every single video. So in this video, you may see I have a bracelet on right here, and it says Observer on it. So you may ask, well, what does that mean? What were you observing? Yeah, I was observing your mom last night. Got him. That's right, we got this video fired up. Yeah, we have a crazy ass video to get into. This is just insane, man. We have some massive damn leaks, and it is very exciting stuff. So before we get started, if you could hit a like and subscribe, that would truly mean the world to me. We are less than 100 subscribers away from 20,000 subscribers. Just thank you for the support, man. That is crazy to me. And follow me on Twitter and Instagram so we can keep our amazing communities growing. And stay tuned to the end of the video so you can learn how to win some eShop gift cards or potentially a Nintendo Switch 2. Now let's go ahead and get into this. Now before we get into, I guess, you know, the leaks and the updates and all that good stuff, let's start with some news that it's both good and bad, right? It has some bad elements, but I think when you look at it all the way through, this bad thing really is a good thing, especially because it's Nintendo, right? If this was Microsoft or Xbox or hell, just a slew of other developers, I would say, I really don't know if this is going to turn out good. But when Nintendo does this, not to just kiss Nintendo's ass, but it's normally because they're taking their time and they're crafting something. And for better or worse, one thing about Nintendo that I really do like is they do not rush out games. One game we've been waiting for damn near a decade now is Metroid Prime 4. And, you know, we thought it was coming last year. We thought it was coming this year, especially with the new Nintendo console. And we know it is coming this year. And Nintendo has told us multiple times that it's coming this year. Not only is it coming this year, it's coming to the Switch and the Switch 2. Now the great thing is Nintendo keeps showing this game off. It's not like they're keeping it hidden. You know, we went forever without a trailer. Now we've got multiple trailers. But we're all wondering, where is the release date? Well, there actually might not be a release date quite yet. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Game industry interviewer Kiwi Talks claims that Metroid Prime 4 is still unfinished, keeps missing development milestones. And this is somebody who has interviewed Retro Studios multiple times, and they've leaked some stuff accurately, and they're more like, I almost want to say like a journalist or insider than they are a leaker or anything. So it's not like somebody just thinking or saying something or having like a feeling that something's happening. They normally have like real insight. Interesting news, as with the modern Nintendo development pipeline, many games are finished well ahead of release, and we've known this for multiple games. Like, I think Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door was finished a year in advance. I think the last Fire Emblem game was finished like a year in advance. You know, Nintendo sits on games for quite a while. Seems like work on Metroid Prime 4 may continue up to the last minute, or this game may see a delay until 2026 if necessary. So that's why I was saying this is good and bad, right? It's bad the game is getting delayed, but it's good they're not rushing it out, and we're going to get a damn masterpiece once we finally see the game, or finally are able to play the game. Now before we get into some crazier updates and leaks, I mean, crazy stuff, truly crazy. Let's get into an update about a Switch 2 accessory that I figured it was doing better than it was, but I guess it's a flop or a quote unquote flop. I don't know if that's real though, you know what I mean? So I was just reading this article, and apparently the Switch 2 camera did not sell well, like at all. Circana reported 1.6 million devices sold in the United States in June. That is 1.6 million Nintendo Switch 2 consoles in the United States alone in just June. But only 80,000 cameras were purchased alongside their parent consoles. So that is a very small percentage. And when I would see people post on Twitter like, hey, picked up my Switch 2, picked up whatever, I would see the console, the Pro Controller, and the camera in a few games. But it seemed like everybody was buying the camera. I bought a third-party camera, the one that looked like the Piranha plant, I think that's what it was. But it didn't really work that good, and I just kind of bought it for a video, so I returned it to Amazon. So I do not have a camera, and I still have not used a camera, like really used it at all. I don't really care that much. Eventually I'll get another one, and I think it would be fun to review some games with my audience, and I still want to do that. But you know, $55 for a camera that I'm definitely not going to use more than once a month, if that, doesn't seem like a great deal to me, especially because you can use pretty much any streaming camera, right? Even though this seems like a bad thing, or like it under-delivered, they said that is still $5 million worth of revenue just in the United States alone on that camera. So it's not like exceptional, but it's still damn good in my opinion. One thing we're all waiting on is the next Nintendo Direct. There has been a million signs pointing towards one happening. I keep saying next week, then I keep saying this week. Nate the Hate is saying next week, or saying in July, which would be next week. We need a Nintendo Direct because there's a lot of games that are allegedly coming, but they haven't been announced. And I heard that Nintendo is making those announcements, like not the actual developers or publishers. It is what it is. But one company I would have bet money on being at the Nintendo Switch 2 Big Direct presentation, the very first one, was Microsoft. But they weren't there. But allegedly, we're going to be hearing from them very soon, and this is fantastic news. A reliable insider has indicated that Xbox is preparing to confirm more multi-platform ports for the PlayStation 5 and Nintendo Switch 2 relatively soon. Journalist and industry insider Christopher Dring claimed that Xbox is expected to announce more PS5 and Switch 2 ports in the coming weeks, probably at a Direct, or maybe, maybe they just do it on their own, who knows. While he didn't confirm which Xbox games are next on the multi-platform slate, the timing of these announcements may fall around Gamescom 2025, set to take place from August 20th to the 24th. So yeah, maybe not at the Nintendo Direct, that's just what I was thinking, but I think it actually would be kind of cool if they made the announcements themselves. Like, hey, these are games that are getting ported to other platforms, you see the PlayStation logo, and you see the Nintendo Switch 2 logo. I have no problem with that, because that would mean we're getting announcements in a Direct, then we're getting more announcements a few weeks later. Hell yeah, brother, bring in all the announcements. I want to play all the games. So the more announcements, in my opinion, the better. And then this list right here is some stuff that's rumored to be coming over. As you can see, some of these games are already on the PS5. Doom the Dark Ages, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. This is one of my most anticipated games in recent memory. I cannot wait to play this. I have a PS5, but I want to play this on my Switch too. And then Forza just released on the PS5 as well. And I heard it sold like 2 million copies or something insane. So that's just crazy to me, and it's not a bad way to sell some games if you're Microsoft. But yeah, this is awesome, man. It's a weird time in gaming, right? And it seems like Nintendo really is going to be the last company to really have exclusives. So, if you're me and everybody else who has a Switch 2, seems like we're kind of winning here. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about a beloved Nintendo character. And this character is technically a sidekick, but honestly, they're just one of the coolest characters Nintendo has, and that is Yoshi. Now, Nintendo leaked by themselves accidentally. They were showing like games that are getting ported over to the Switch 2 or something, and they were showing off maybe like a 3DS or a Wii U Yoshi game. I cannot remember. I'm just doing this off memory right now. But it might have been a mistake, so, that is what it is. But we have a leak from Nash Weedle about a new Yoshi game. Leak Express, a Yoshi game is coming to the Switch 2, codename Sunny, and it would use the Unreal Engine again. The first clue suggests that its development began mid last year, but I think they're trying to say, but that's based on material that was reportedly recovered. As soon as I have more details, I'll let you know. Codename Sunny, I don't know. I don't know all the codenames in and out, so maybe it's a sequel to Woolly World, maybe it's a sequel to, what is the other Yoshi game? I can't remember, because I'll be honest with you guys, I did not play them. I love Yoshi. The games I don't really care about that much. But, if it's on the Switch 2, I'll probably play it. I'm in this really cool area right now in gaming to where I'm actually collecting games for the first time since I've been like 10 years old. I have a small collection up here of some Switch and Switch 2 games, and I'm just kind of buying everything that I think I might like on the Switch or Switch 2, and I just want to stack up a giant collection. So if a new Yoshi game comes out, I'm gonna check it out. I'll probably buy it, and that's a good thing, right? It's Yoshi. Can we have different Yoshis though? Can we have blue and orange like we do in Mario Kart World? Like a whole Yoshi gang? Like the way they have Kirby's? Let me get a bunch of Yoshis where we can just jump people. Not jump people, but beat up enemies. I don't need a bunch of Yoshis roaming the streets at night, jumping people and stealing their purses. Although, I mean, that's how you sell a game. Ladies and gentlemen, the other day I made a video about a leak, about a white Switch 2 leaking out. And I'm not going to go over all the details, or maybe I will, but I made a video, I want to say like 6 months ago as well, or maybe 3 months ago or sometime, but it was like all this evidence of a white Switch 2 coming. We've seen manufacturers say it. We've seen somebody who had their hands on the Switch 2 that we know had their hands on a Switch 2 like a month or two in advance, said that there's a white Switch 2. We've seen another person in China that had the Switch 2 specs, 3D print one, and it was white. It just seems like it's gonna be there. So a couple days ago, I made a follow-up video to that because some new details were out, but I didn't have any proof to show you. You know, this was just somebody posting something. I have the proof now. So this is essentially the shell of the Switch 2. I mean, that's what it is. And we can see that this is white. Like, that's the side of the Nintendo Switch 2. So this is real. And they're saying that this is a factory, I believe, like a factory worker who has these in China. And they had like some PS5 stuff as well and a few other things. And this person was saying 100% this is a Nintendo Switch 2, a white one. But they were saying they do not know if this is for an OLED model or just a new variant. I would like to be optimistic and say an OLED model, and I think that would be awesome. But honestly, if I'm just keeping it real, and I gotta keep it real with myself more than you guys, it's like, I can tell you guys, yeah, I think it's gonna be an OLED model, this is crazy. But let me just keep it real with myself. I think it's for a new variant. It's either gonna be a white Nintendo Switch 2. I heard it's also like has some silver stuff. Maybe they were just talking about this though, where it's silver right here. It almost feels too soon to have a Switch OLED, or a Switch 2 OLED, should I say. So I'm trying to think what games are coming out that we could see a white Nintendo Switch 2. Maybe white and teal for Hyrule Warriors, or maybe it's just a white Nintendo Switch 2, and that would be kind of cool. If we're seeing this again, and you know, this was rumored a million times before the Switch 2 launch, that we're gonna have a white model and a black model, I think there's gonna be a white model coming out sooner than later, probably this year, probably when stock is out there, you know, for everybody who wants one, and now Nintendo can start having people double dip, because people will. Or maybe somebody wants a second Switch 2 for their household. It's a lot easier to sell a different color Switch 2 to somebody who already has one. It's like, I already have one, I don't want to buy another black one. But if they put a white one out, it's like, whoa, that's different. My brain wants something that's different. I want that, even though I don't need that. So I still think a Switch 2 OLED is definitely coming. I just feel like it's way too early. I do think it's going to come sooner than later, though. I could see it happening within like 18 months, right? But if I had to guess, this is just a new variant. I'm very curious what it would be. I feel like it would be a special edition, like themed one. But honestly, it'd be kind of cool if they just gave us different colors. White, blue, translucent. Just different colors. That would be actually pretty badass if I had to say so myself. But ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about this? Because your opinion matters most. So in the comments below, I would love to hear from you guys. If you made it to this part of the video, hit a like and subscribe, baby. Join this community. We're almost at 20K, man. That is crazy to me. Crazy. So thank you all for the support. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram so we can keep our amazing communities growing. Every single Saturday, I give away eShop gift cards right here on my channel and eShop sell videos every single Saturday. So tomorrow. And then I'm going to be giving away a Switch 2 when I hit 20K, so that's in a couple days. And then I'm going to give away like 3 or 4 more as the year goes on. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. But you guys know me. I'll see you very soon with a new video. Peace out.